Good morning, Singapore. This is Rahul Magan here, is Group Chief Executive Officer, Treasury Consulting and also a venture capitalist. Today, on Sunday, when most of the Singapore is enjoying, we are going to shoot a video about a topic that how many regulators do India need? Is that justified? But before starting this video, I would like to ask two questions from you. How many of you been to circus? I don't. Trust me, I'm 35, turning 35 after 3 months. I don't. You know, be sitting at Marina 1, just 5 minutes from now, maybe 10 minutes from now walking, we have MBS, Marina Bay Sands, and just, I think 20-30 meters before MBS, we are having a park come a free space where government is allowing all the circus, food stalls, amusement things, everything is happening around. It's a pretty happening country, pretty good country, right? And thanks to the government. And nowadays there is a food festival which is going here. So before this food festival there was circus. Trust me, every night we pass the same route. We take our MRT from Bayfront, but we never visit to that circus. In circus there is a person who is known as juggler. You know who is a juggler? I hope you saw that, who puts several bottles in the air and catch each bottle at the right point of time. And jugglers are of multiple kinds. Like you have one juggler who put 2 bottles, 1 3, 1 4, 1 5, and there are jugglers who put multiple bottles in the air. We feel like, boss, he's a superman, but actually he's doing a practice. Every time he into the practice, and practice makes man perfect. Anyways, we are thank you to him for showing this skill. There is no negative remarks for him. I think Indian economy and Indian regulators are seriously acting like that juggler. It's a circus which is going on. There is no doubt about that. Now let me frame this video with few facts. In the last 10 years, the non-performing assets of the country have grown to 13 trillion Indian rupee. This is what the Reserve Bank of India is showing. And I am 500% doubtful, not 100%, 500% doubtful that this number is understated by not less than 40 to 50%. In the last 2-3 months, the country has saw several bankruptcies, including Videocon. A separate video on the Videocon would be coming. Videocon, ILFS, Yes Bank, ICICI Bank, Axis Bank, Z Group, now Jet Airways, Air India, and the list is pretty long, right? But apparently speaking, we are having many regulators in place, those who are enjoying their salary on a taxpayer money. Those who are sitting in an air-conditioned office doing nothing. And first prominent regulator is Reserve Bank of India. When I was 29, I was invited by Eurofinance India at Land's End, wherein I said that Reserve Bank should be banned. And now I think it should not be banned, it should be winded off. India is having several regulators in place, like few are Reserve Bank of India. One is SEBI. Now let's start one by one. In the last 5 years, you give me one good thing Reserve Bank of India did when it comes to the improvement in the Indian economy. Not 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. If you think that the POS swap window which Raghuram Rajan opened, then this is a shit which he did. Most of you do not understand how the swap window works. What is principal only swap? What is coupon only swap? That is why you people treat that Raghuram Rajan is a genius. But he did nothing. And I am ready to challenge him on face as well. On the contrary, we have one regulator who is known as SEBI, Security and Exchange Board of India. What exactly Security and Exchange Board of India did? Apart from 5 or 7 top industrial groups in India, you know the name, 5 or 7 top industrial groups in India, those who are controlling Indian economy completely in and out, SEBI never touched these 5-7 industrial groups. Never. And SEBI always before the small and medium term enterprises to you violating this, you violating this, you violating this document has not yet filled, no, I am putting the court of law and all these, they make their life hell. And result, most of these SMEs either wind it up or they go to Singapore, they come to Hong Kong to do the business, and SEBI feel, oh, I do my business. Third regulator which we have, who manage basically the commodities markets, NCDEX and all. Tell me one thing, boss. Chicago Mercantile Exchange, NYMEX, although both are the part of that, CBOT, Chicago Board of Trade, you add the total business or in commodities, these top three, it's a part of one group they are doing, and you just compute a single ratio, which is NCDEX plus COMEX divided by these three. The ratio is not even 1%. Not even 1%. I'm not saying that the list of the examples is long. In India, I know many traders, those who are into the business of commodity trading. We are also entering into the business of commodity trading, but not like this cereals, rice and all, in a big game which we are launching, iron ore, platinum, diamond, coal and whatnot, including electricity. But the question is that how good are the commodity derivatives? How good are the commodity exchanges? And when was the last time commodity regulators seriously tried to do anything different in that regards? Tell me just one instance in the last 15 years. I'm giving you 15 years when the commodity derivative basically regulator did something very credible. You just let me one instance. And fourth important regulator which we have, I think they are seriously drawing their money free of cost, which is Competition Commission of India. Competition Commission of India, first of all, I wanted to ask one question from everybody. Why do we need Competition Commission of India? Competition Commission of India is required for following purpose. Number one is when the country is having huge institutional investors money which is coming, and this money is coming to create merger and acquisitions. Example, Singapore. Every day some companies coming here, setting up the headquartered and making sure that they do the business here, including people like us. Here we need the Competition Commission or the competition authorities of Singapore to see that the cartel is not happening, the prices are not going in one direction and so on and so forth. Let me give you an example of electricity. In this country, in the last 5-7 years, the electricity prices have fallen rather than growing, because it's an exemplary example of the fact that the competition authorities are making sure that the life of the people should be more happy rather than it go worse. Can I have one country where in the last 5-7 years the electricity prices have fallen, the competition has been created rather than decreased? Why we need Competition Commission of India? We need Competition Commission of India because of following reason. Number one, the M&As, the acquisitions, the spin-off, the spin-outs, nothing is happening. Tell me one international company in the globe, Microsoft, Google, Accenture, Sapient, Cognizant, Yahoo, Apple, who really wanted to come here and set up the business. Another thing we need Competition Commission of India is to do the cartelling. Where to tell me, I don't want to quote the name of that business group, but you know what is happening in the telecommunication. Idea is being merged off with the Airtel. Sorry, my mistake. Idea is being merged off with the Vodafone. Airtel is almost died. Just like a fish who's out of the water, and fish is waiting for the time when she's going to get died, right? And MTNL and BSNL, they are firing not less than 60 to 70,000 people, and this is in the public domain. Is that not cartelization? Is that not cartelization? Is that not come under the domain of the Competition Commission of India? Tell me one notice the so-called Competition Commission of India issued to the telecom players that, boss, what is going on? One notice. They cannot. Fourth important thing, why do we need Competition Commission of India, is antitrust laws. In India, who cares about antitrust laws? E-commerce policy is being revised to support one business group. Education policy revised to support one business group. The national highway policy and the road policy is being revised to support one business group. And God knows, maybe in the future the aviation policy will also be revised to support one business group. Where is antitrust laws? And fifth, the most important regulator of India, right? The most important regulator of India, which is the jurisdictions, which is the court of law. What is the scene of court of law? You know. My question is very clear. If we compare this model with the model we have in Singapore and the different countries of the globe, here the regulators are performing pretty better. If not preemptive, then at least not post-emptive also. Like if we look at the Singaporean model, we have Monetary Authority of Singapore. We don't have multiple bodies like SEBI, we have RBI, we have Competition Commission of India, which is FATF, Financial Action Task Force. Tell me one good thing the Financial Action Task Force did in India. And do you really think that they deserved salary on 31st of the day? And that salary at the cost of taxpayer money. One good thing. Why do we need so many business? Why do we need so many regulators? Reserve Bank of India, Security and Exchange Board of India, the Commodities Regulator, Competition Commission of India, and Financial Action Task Force. They five together can be winded off and we can have one common regulator who manage everything. Now this common regulator would be in such a way that they have multiple divisions in place. So example, if you're talking about capital market, they are controlling. You're talking about the competition laws, they are controlling. You're talking about the fraud, investigation, cyber security, they are controlling, and so on and so forth. Why do we need these multiple bodies in place? Tell me one thing. Why do we need them? Isn't that the waste of the taxpayer money which is happening? And tell me one good thing, even after these so-called bodies which are there, what is good thing which is happening in the economy? JET chairperson Naresh Goyal deliberately asked to step down from the board so that he can be saved. Nirav Modi went out of the country so that he can be saved. And according to the media, 35 business group chiefs are out of the country. Anil Ambani is moving freely in the country. And Edison went to Supreme Court, they got there whatever 560 crores. BSNL again needs 700 crores, nothing is happening. So the question is very clear. The question is that why do we need these regulators? How long are we going to burn the taxpayer money? Is the taxpayer money is freely available? Is the taxpayer money holds no value? Or is it that we have decided that taxpayer money is always at granted and let's burn it up? My last question to you, do you think that the list of bankruptcies which we have now, we started from JP Group, ILFS, ICICI Bank, Yes Bank and multiple, these bankruptcies are now at the end or not? I would like to tell you one small story before we move further. 4 months ago, the most intelligent person of the globe, SBI chairman, who gave an interview to the Live Mint, and he said that as far as the non-performing assets is concerned, everything is done and dusted, which means that now we have Achhe Din, right? I seriously laughed once I was reading the newspaper on two people, one on him, that who made him the chairperson, and second on the media who is foolish enough to to produce such interviews. What did happen? Is NPAs are slowing down or they are rising? And boss, these all are the big names. Remember that ice once float on the water. Ice once float on the water, only 10% of the ice is visible. Rest 90% is not visible. Not at all. Is visible. To wind up this video, I would like to ask 3 questions, and you need to answer these 3 questions yourself. You are welcome to comment, and I don't care about the people, those who do the thumbs down on the YouTube video. Who cares about them? It's the second largest YouTube channel, boss. No one worried about you, okay? Because you are the one who don't have even a single video on the YouTube. So you know the answer what I wanted to say. I have 3 questions. Number 1. Do you really think that we continue to burn the taxpayer money on these so-called regulators who sit in swanky offices, air-conditioned room, 7-star accommodation, business class travel, but doing nothing, and saving the people like Naresh Goyal and like all, and putting the 24,000 sincere, hard-working JET employees at stake? My second question, why don't we come up with a model whereby one body controls everything? We don't need multiple regulators. One body controls everything. We have numerous examples in that regards. Singapore, efficient country. US, efficient country. And examples are endless. My third and very important question. How long we continue to have the unaccountability of these regulators? Why can't we have a model that if any bankruptcy would happen, the cost of the bankruptcy is to be paid by the employees of that regulator rather than by the people? So example, the Jet Airways bankruptcy is to be paid by the DGCA. DGCA will pay the money from their own pocket to these 24,000 people who are jobless, rather than they are now crying for their EMIs. Their kids are not being able to go to the school because they're not been able to pay the expenses of their kids. With these three questions, I would like to end my video, and I hope that I would have several thumbs down of this video, because people like me are very rare who talk fearless, but who cares? I would like to tell you one thing before winding up this video, and don't take me otherwise. We are as a country moving towards a bankrupt economy, and that bankruptcy is going to hit India pretty hard. And this bankruptcy is not going to be easy, at least this time. India Lehman is ILFS and Videocon, and we do not know what is happening inside the other corporates. If you add the total debt in the books of top 7 and 8 corporates, you know what the name are. Top 7 and 8 corporates, if you ask, you would get to know that these 7 or 8 corporates are having debt not less than 10 lakh crores in the books. And unfortunately, the regulators or the regulatory is not asking for the repayment schedule, so we don't know them. With this, I would like to thank you very much, and again would like to give you the warning that mess up is coming. It has not yet started. The so-called intelligent people in the media, one sits at JP Morgan Chase calling himself as a chief economist, and one sits at Citibank calling himself as a chief economist. I know both the people, and one sits at Birla Group calling himself as a super economist. According to them, the mess up is done, and according to me, mess up has just started. It has just started. The picture has just started. And do we really need so many regulators on the board without having an accountability factor in place? Treasury Consulting would like to thank you very much from Singapore. You know now our mobile number 919899242978. You know our fixed income platform www.fixedincome.global. Thank you and have a great time ahead.